Don't want to do that. Y'all are all of my nostrils. It's raining out here. Oh my gosh, let me get in here. Hopefully I lock my door. Oh man. Oh my god. Let me get my jacket, cause no. Hey y'all, I'm gonna get my jacket because it's raining a little too hard for me. My door, not the museum. Let's see if they keep it real in here. Tell us what really happened to spark the Civil War, because we all know what it was. Hey y'all. Let's see. The Hewitt family. This might be a nice way to get into the museum on a sunny day, but let's see. Follow walkway. Is this one? Probably not this one. It's probably around. Good morning, y'all. Took a day off today, since they're pressuring me to use my days before I lose them. Pretty sure that's not the way. Let's see. So we are at the Southern Museum in association with the Smithsonian Institute. I was just telling y'all about that. The African American Museum up in Washington, D.C., where Tay and Carmen went. They went because that's like, if you look up things to do when you're in D.C., that comes up as number one. So it was both of their, seems like it was both of their first times in a museum, which is sad. But anyway, this one is also in association with the Smithsonian Institute, as that one is out there in D.C. If you weren't on the last live when I was talking about it, the one in D.C. is actually built by an African American, designed, not built by, but designed. The architecture is designed by an African American, which is cool. And Tay was crying. They were on a ship. And they were brought over. That's the first time hearing that or seeing that. I need them to get some culture. Let's see. This seems a little sketchy. Museum entrance. Damn, that's a long way to go. There's a locomotive / train. I'm excited. I haven't known about this museum for a while, but I won't be having time these days to go to museums. Did that when I was growing up a lot. Lot. Look at this old train, y'all. Ooh. All right, let's go inside. Let's see what they talking about. Damn. This is a long old walk. All right. Here we go. Whew. All right, hold on a second. Hi. How are you? You Joshua? I just talked to you, didn't I? Are you the curator?
Oh, you talked to Joshua Whitfield.
Oh, there's another Joshua? Okay. Awesome. Where can I hang my jacket? Like, I don't want to hold on to it.
Oh, that's we don't have a cookbook.
Y'all don't have one?
All right. Welcome to the museum, though.
That's fine.
$10.
$10? I'm just kidding.
Hello.
I'm just kidding. You take cash? You know what? I was somewhere and they had the audacity to tell me they didn't take cash.
Some places don't anymore.
I couldn't believe it. Because of COVID.
Well, and then the change, it's hard to get change anymore. There's like a shortage, so.
Of change?
Yeah, a coinage.
Coin? Oh, well, yeah, the coin. I heard about that during COVID.
Cash, $10. Did you call a little while ago?
I did.
Did you talk to?
I did. You know what? He called me back at the right time because I couldn't figure out where the parking was. And I was circling like a vulture. Thank you so much.
Been in before?
I've not been here before.
Give you the map.
Okay.
First section is all about railroading in the Civil War.
Okay.
The next is the Glover Machine Works. They made steam locomotives in Marietta.
Okay.
This is our education center, a lot of hands-on, but there's a French boxcar. After World War II, France gave every state a boxcar.
Okay.
That's Georgia's. This is our movie. It normally plays top and
Wait,
bottom.
is that the original boxcar?
Yeah, that's an original boxcar that came from France. So when you get back there, you'll see that.
Okay.
This is our movie. It's normally every half an hour, top and bottom of the hour.
Okay.
We do have a tour going on with kids,
Yeah.
students, so it may be a few minutes off, but
Sure.
you know. Come out the other side, you'll learn all about the great locomotive chase, and then you'll see the actual engine, and that is the engine that was stolen during the Civil War out front, and that is the original. We used to just be this, and this has all been added on.
So it was stolen during the Civil War so that they didn't have one?
So that they wanted to tear up the supply lines.
Right,
because
so they
that
didn't
was
have
the
one.
main- So they didn't have, they were doing it and tearing up the track on their way.
Tearing up the tracks, too.
The Union Army was going to attack Chattanooga, Tennessee.
I love how y'all pitch it to each other. I love
He's
it.
the educator. I run the gift shop.
Okay.
So he's going to give you better.
Thank you.
The Union Army wanted to attack Chattanooga, Tennessee. And so the Union spies, led by James J. Andrews, snuck their way into Georgia, made their way to Marietta,
Yeah.
got on the train, the northbound train out of
How tall are you?
What's that?
How tall are you?
6'5".
Wow.
When I'm dressed as a Union soldier, I have to tell the kids that I'm a lot taller than the average Civil War soldier. They're 5'8". So anyway, the train made its way. The train stopped at Kennesaw. Everybody got off for breakfast.
The Union train.
Well, it was a Confederate train.
It was this was a Confederate train. Yeah.
Yes, and then the Union soldiers sprung into action. Everybody got off for breakfast.
Yeah.
Hijacked the train here, made
Wow.
their way north, tried to do damage to the tracks on their way up.
Wow.
And eventually they're all captured and 8 of them were hung. First Medal of Honor mission. You'll see a lot about that in the museum here.
All right. I love it. I'm a history buff, so I love that. I didn't know that little piece about the sabotage by the Union soldiers.
Yeah. We have the locomotive here, and you'll see we have lots of interesting books.
Yeah, I see that. All right, I can't wait. So just go around this way?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
This first gallery is all about the impact of the railroads in the Civil War, and just keep going.
Keep going.
Follow your map, yep.
All right, thank you, sir. I appreciate your help. Okay. So this is a little bit of a different museum. So this is cast iron U-rail. This early type of rail was used between 1853 and 1869 in both the North and the South. It was hollow in the center to ease production costs and light in the rail. So these are rail tracks. Well, that one there, you can see it. It was hollow in the middle, light in the rail. It was given a name because it looks like an inverted U. Okay. Other letter after that. So, oh, look at the money, y'all. Y'all see that? This is how the money used to look. At least the Confederate dollars. Let's see. Different denominations of Confederate Civil War currency. The Western and Atlantic Railroad bill was redeemable at the WA Railroad offices in Atlanta for regular Confederate currency. Wow. Y'all see those bills? Can y'all see them? Let me zoom in. See if I can zoom in. Hold on. It's not a Confederate museum. It is a Civil War museum. And of course, we know that the Civil War was 1861 to 1865, and it was the Union versus the Confederate. Okay? Meaning the states that were in Union already, and then the Confederate states that didn't want to join the Union, didn't want to become a United States of America. All right, so no, it's not just about Confederate stuff. It's just about the Civil War in general, and the locomotives, meaning the trains and all that stuff. Here's Harriet Beecher Stowe. Okay, if you're in our lounge, we just did a Uncle Tom's Cabin documentary for our virtual field trip. We just had one of those like a couple of days ago that I showed to the group. So this is the lady, Harriet Beecher Stowe. She was an abolitionist, and she's the one who wrote Uncle Tom's Cabin. Here she is. We were just talking about her and doing this. So she was from 1811, and then she died in 1896. We also, in that video, Uncle Tom's Cabin, is that the name of the video? No, I think it's I Am Not Your Negro. We just watched this, and Harriet Beecher Stowe was publishing books during slavery to depict the savagery of it all and how inhumane it was. And she wouldn't use actual names; she would use fictitious names. And so that's where the name Uncle Tom came from. There was never an Uncle Tom. His name was actually Josiah, is the person that she was making the Uncle Tom's Cabin book about. She didn't use his actual name. Really interesting stuff. Anyway, that just caught my eye because we were just talking about her. You were curious how she looked. That's how she looked back in the day. So, all right, I guess this is the beginning. So war begins 1861, rides the rails on April 18th, just a week after the Civil War began, with the Confederate bombardment and occupation of Fort Sumter, blah, 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 blah. General Robert Lee, he was the general for the Confederate Army, Confederate soldiers. There's an original Confederate flag. I know you guys think it looks one way because it's changed a couple of times. This is how it used to be. It used to be stars and bars. The Confederate stars and bars fly over the ruins of Fort Sumter after its surrender by federal troops. Yeah, I don't know a lot about the Civil War. It's really, really interesting. It was... people have lots of different reasons why they claim it was started, but we all know why it was started. All right, here's a family. Black family, bless you. So at least they talk about how slavery caused the Civil War. Slavery was illegal in all parts of the new nation. As the North became more industrialized, they needed slave labor. The need for slave labor decreased, blah, blah, blah. At the same time, many in the North began to object to slavery on moral grounds, and this led many in the region to push for the abolition of slavery across the nation. The South remained tied to cash crops and the use of enslaved labor in part due to inventions such as the cotton gin. As Western states were added to the Union, concerns grew in states allowing slavery that these new states would upset the tenants balance of the power that existed in Congress between slaves and states, blah, blah, blah. In other words, if there's a revolution, where we were now working in buildings and factories and things like that, cotton was not the cash crop anymore. It wasn't king. Other things were becoming king, like electricity, all the things that came about as a result of the Industrial Revolution. Factories, warehouses, production, etc. So you really didn't need slaves that much. But people in the South were still relying on their cash cow, which would be cotton. And so they wanted to keep their slaves, obviously, because that's who were working those. Here are the long arms of the law. They wanted to keep their slaves because that's how that's who picked the crops. And, they didn't want to give up their slaves. 400 years of slavery. This is how we got rich beyond measure. And more, besides that, they're the ones who did all the manual production. So they didn't want to give them up. And that was the main reason for the Civil War. You might fire at a man all day from a distance of 125 yards without him ever finding it out, Ulysses M. Grant said. So these are the different muskets that they had. This one is 1816 musket. This is an actual musket, not a replica. This is one from 1816. It was a 69 caliber. That means that the inside of the gun barrel is smooth so that it can fire round lead balls as bullets. Guns like this were only effective at hitting targets less than 100 yards away. 1842, they came out with this musket. It's a little bit shorter, more or less. You see that some of the mechanisms on it changed a bit. 1853, they came out with this one. The third one was manufactured in England. Let's see if I can zoom out. Okay. Hey, y'all. This one is 1861. This was a common rifle used in the Civil War. And then this one, 1855. Cool. So here's a bugle. They didn't have cell phones or microphones at the time or megaphones. They used the bugle to communicate things, sounds and etc., like charge or retreat or, those different sounds for different commands. Isn't that cool? Bugle. It's a Confederate bugle. What is this? A Confederate rope tension drum. So this is a drum captured following the Battle of Shiloh by the 12th Michigan Infantry. This unit also participated in the successful Vicksburg campaign. The ropes or cords on the side of the drum serve the function of tightening the drum head at the top of the drum. Oh, okay. So this drum is made of walnuts. Here's another drum. Yeah, I know they like to play their drums and trumpets and etc. on the front line. They had a band. Let's see. By the end of 1861, the Union Army included 28,000 musicians organized into 618 bands. A corps could conceivably have 36 to 40 bands. In camp with all the bands playing at once, the confusion of sound produced can hardly be imagined, wrote one amused observer. The confusion of sounds produced. Star Spangled Banner. Let me turn it around. Let me see what y'all talking about. Oh, hello. Um, my shirt out. Um, Let me see what y'all are saying. Hey Jacqueline, my brother belongs to a Civil War reenactment group, and he owns a weapon. He owns a weapons similar. He owns weapons. He owns weapons similar to one of those. Awesome, Jacqueline. Y'all, this was really impromptu. I was going to take the day to do some other things, but I decided to just come to the museum instead. So during the Civil War, they used a lot of spies, to go into the Union camp and, I was enslaved. So we'd go there and, as slaves and servants, and they would never, obviously, they didn't pay us any attention at all, but we were paying attention to what they were saying and doing. So we were sitting there as spies from the Union Army. Anyway, Mary Richards Bowser was an African American woman who worked who worked as a Union spy in the Confederate White House during the Civil War. Bowser was born enslaved to the Van Loo family in Richmond, Virginia. Elizabeth Van Loo, an abolitionist, freed Bowser after Van Loo's father passed away. Bowser returned to Richmond in 1861 after being educated in Philadelphia and serving as a missionary in Liberia. Her education, uncommon at the time, gave her the tools to excel as a spy. Bowser and Van Loo worked together to subserviently support the Union by smuggling information to military leaders and prison escapees and disrupting Confederate operations. She worked as a servant in Confederate President Jefferson Davis' home, the Confederate White House. So she was at the White House when Jefferson was in office. Of course, he was a Confederate. Bowser eavesdropped on countless government and military meetings because her presence was often overlooked. Yep, due to her status, race, and gender. Right. Bowser passed information to Union sympathizers through Van Loo's connections. Following the war, Bowser worked as an educator for newly freed African Americans in Virginia and Florida, and later founded a freedmen's school in St. Mary's, Georgia. Due to Bowser's use of aliases during her work as a spy, the complete record of her accomplishments is unclear. Here's a kettle. So nice, so cool. Cast iron kettle. Civil War era. Let's see. Spoon and fork and a knife. Dice. Marbles. Candlestick holders. An inkwell, they blotted their ink pens. What is this? A wax holder. Okay. A wax holder. A mourning brooch. Upon suffering the loss of a husband or son in the Civil War, women often wear black along with a brooch featuring the descendant's name. Nice. Oh, y'all see that little frame back there? A hair jewelry bracelet. Guarding the rails. Collapsible tin cup, a wallet made out of cowhide, shaving kits, very common. You see the razor there? There's a shaving kit and a mirror, along with the brush to put the shaving cream on. Interesting. Very interesting. Hi. Sewing kit. Cards, a little Bible. This was a soldier's life, they said. All right, Let's go around. It's a lot to see. Let me see what y'all are saying. First time, thanks for sharing. Hi, Janet. Supply troops. Let me turn it around. Sherman takes Atlanta. An army's effectiveness depends on its access to food, forage for draft animals, weaponry, and ammunition. Only railroads could provide sufficient quantities of these essential supplies to maintain large armies operating far from their supply bases. So some of y'all asked about the train right before I went to park. The reason that the locomotive or the train is so important to things like Civil War and history and things like that is because, just as it said, this is how the armies got their supplies during the Civil War, right? If you are a Union soldier and you're fighting in the South, which is what they were doing, they were fighting the Confederates in the South, you had to get your food back from the base, which would not be in the South unless we overtook a Confederate base, which we did a lot of too. But this is how the food, supplies, weaponry, all that stuff was transported back and forth on the railroad tracks, on the trains. So that's why it's super important to Civil War history. Here's a dress. No flash photography. Women's day dress. This dress was worn daily during activities. It consisted of 2 pieces. The simple decoration suggests that it was made in the South. What you do not see are the layers of clothing underneath. A slip, petticoat, corset, cage, like a hoop skirt, so to make it fluff out like that. It's like you know how a tomato cage looks? It's like that. And stockings. Imagine the amount of time it took to get dressed. Yikes. No thanks. So this lady disguised herself as a man during the Civil War to enlist during the Civil War, so to join the war. Hook joined the Union Army in April of 1861 and fought at the Battle of Shiloh and the Siege of Vicksburg. After she was wounded, so she had to get medical attention after she was wounded, her sex was discovered, so they found out she was a female, and she was discharged. As a result, Hook changed her name and re-enlisted with a new regiment to continue to fight. In 1863, she was captured by Confederate soldiers in Alabama and imprisoned in Atlanta. While attempting to escape, Hook was injured and her sex was once again discovered. She was freed as a part of a prisoner exchange and received her final discharge in February 1864. That's funny. So this is like the jacket that she wore here. This might actually be her. So Union 1 Lieutenant's Regulation 9 button frock coat. The dark blue uniform is made of wool and was tailor-made for the owner. Officers on both sides of the conflict had to pay for their own uniform. While expensive, the officers did not have to deal with the ill-fitting uniforms issued, blah, 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 blah. So this is the kind of frock that she wore, as you can see in this picture. She was like, fuck that, I want in on this. Saddle, Confederate saddle, boots, part of their uniform, rider boots. Y'all ever wonder why they were called riding boots? That's why. You see him on his horse, riding in these boots. Lots of interesting stuff here. Let's go around this way. Let me see. Got questions. Good morning, culture teammates. Sneaking at work. I'll be on and off. Thanks for including us. You're welcome. All right. Pictures and stories, construction feats. See African Americans in there. The huts of wood choppers like the tracks of the Orange and Alexandria Railroad near Manassas. Like other members of the Union Construction Corps, wood choppers camped near sites and worked round the clock. So these would be your wood choppers, us. This is where we lived during the Confederate War. You know what, let me go into the gift shop right quick. I'm gonna get a water. There you go, your KKK. You know what a lot of people don't know? Unless you're in our private lounge, and you do know because I've already talked about this, or you just knew, but this is not a common fact that most people know, that the KKK was started in 1865, which is the same year that the Civil War ended. You know who was responsible for forming the KKK? Retired Confederate soldiers like General Lee, General Custer. They're the ones, they were like, okay, we lost the war. They were furious. They were furious that they lost the Civil War, and they started basically a retirement club to torture, hang, kill, etc. Black people. They're the ones who started the KKK, retired Confederate soldiers. So when people tell me about their so-called, oh, it's just Southern pride, it's just pride. Yeah, but y'all started they started the KKK. That's how it started. They was furious that they lost the war. It was like, well, we're gonna exact our revenge on the people that we just lost ownership to. Did y'all know that? A lot of people don't know that. Let me go in here. See what they got in here. I don't know if they have anything to drink. Maybe. Hello. Hello. Oh, they got smart water, vitamin water. Oh, they got Coke Zero, which is good water. A lot of cool stuff in here. Got a little puzzle for little kitties.
I am too. I've been here. I go here for the Wednesday classes.
Oh, you do? Okay.
What? How old are you?
That is 27.
Hello.
Hello.
How old are you? 7?
Yeah.
7. Okay. Cool. You speak so well. He's shy.
Okay, move the car. Okay, we got it.
Let me see. Hold on, y'all. I have to swipe my do I have cash? No, I have cash on me. Hold on. Ooh. Just dropping money.
Throw your money
I
away.
know, right? It's not good. It's not good.
Okay. Whoa.
Yeah.
Smart water and a lemonade.
All right.
Okay, you good to go?
Yeah, we messed up, we thought. It's the third Wednesday, and first Wednesday was the first of the month, and we got all mixed up.
Okay. Oh,
But,
well.
so,
You'll get it next
We'll
time.
get it next time, yeah, we'll
So-
figure it out, yeah.
Just these two, please. I am not a member.
Okay.
What does that entail anyway?
Oh, it's $50 for an individual.
Yeah.
$75 for a family.
Uh-huh.
And then there are some other, levels as well.
Yeah.
They
Well-
get higher. You can go up front and get a brochure on
Yeah.
that, and it will tell you what the.
So what is it like? It lets you in the museum without paying for what, a year?
Yeah. Yeah.
So good. All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
There
I
you
appreciate
go.
your help.
No problem.
All right. 4-1. You want your penny?
I'm good.
I don't even have any on me. I left my purse.
That's fine.
don't need this. You have a trash? Thank you. All right. Got my smart water. And a lemonade. I carry my jacket around with me. Okay, thank you. Have a good day. Hold on. Let's just do that. Oh, there we go. Let me see what y'all got to say. Hi.
What's up?
I have a question about membership. So how does it work? So you pay what?
Well, our membership coordinator is
Oh,
right here.
hi. Hello.
It is $75 per year for a family.
Okay.
And it gets you in every day if you want to.
Every day.
And it's for 2 adults.
Okay.
And as many children as you have.
Oh, wow.
And that includes events like Trains, Railroad Rendezvous. It doesn't include any events in the evening, like our Southern Spirits event, which is adults only. But
Okay.
it includes everything else, and it is tax deductible because we are a nonprofit.
Oh, nice. What's the Southern Spirits event? What's that?
So Southern Spirits is twice a year,
Mm-hmm.
and it is like kind of like a sip and stroll. You pay ticket price,
Yeah.
$30 if you're a member, $40 if you're a non-member. You
Okay.
get 2 beverages, beer and wine, and then 1 spirit, which is usually themed. Like we just did one Friday night, and it was bourbon.
Okay.
So we made Moscow mules. and
Oh,
things.
nice.
Yeah, and then we've got food. You get a plate of food.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have,
Like Southern, traditional Southern food?
it depends on the theme. We did
Okay.
Valentine's Day was our Friday night theme, so we had Italian food. We had like meatballs.
Oh,
and,
nice.
Cannolis and stuff.
Now, who cooks it? This gentleman right
Yeah,
here?
Josh does all the
Josh
cooking.
does the
Yeah.
cooking.
We had Pisanos, and then for the one in July.
Y'all use Pisano? Pisano's food is very good.
Yeah, we had.
They make
Pisanos
excellent
on Friday
pizza.
night. Yeah, they do make excellent pizza, and then we have one coming up July 3rd, which is going to be awesome because they're doing the fireworks. They're shooting off the fireworks behind our building. So, Southern Spirits, you can have your cocktail and your food.
Yeah.
And you can sit outside on our lawn or at a table.
Yeah.
And see the fireworks,
Mm-hmm.
enjoy the music. We have music in here as well, and a bar, and
Okay.
a bar outside. So yeah,
That's a lot of production. Who's doing all the producing to be doing all that?
yeah, we do.
Y'all. Okay. What about the African American thing on the 25th? What's that? Okay.
We'll be having a living history in front of the museum about the role of the United States colored troops in the Civil War. So I'll be dressed up, and another volunteer will be dressed up. We'll be doing musketry demonstrations 9:30 to 5.
Okay.
We'll have interactive education tables for kids about the role of African Americans in World War II, in the abolitionist movement, and in various railroad labor of the 19th and 20th century.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's on the 25th. What day is
Saturday,
that?
February 25th.
That's a
9:30 to
Saturday.
5. Yep.
9:30 to 5. Okay.
Feel free to come and see us.
I definitely will. Thank
If
you.
you're a member, you get in free.
For that event, but not the Southern
Southern
Spirits.
Spirits is in the evening, and because it has the alcohol and the food, that is. But you do get a discount if you're a member, so you
Oh.
pay $10 less than just an average person.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And if you have, like, say you bring in 4 adults and you're the member,
Yeah.
you pay $10 less per each.
Per person.
Yeah.
What if you're just a single person with no kids? Then what? It's what, $50?
You can do yes.
A year?
$50. Yep, $50 for a whole year, and again, tax deductible, and you can come to everything for that $50. It's a really
Okay.
good deal. Yeah.
Sounds good. Let me pontificate on that
All right,
as I
and
walk
if you
around.
do, go to Josh, and he will help you out with that.
Okay, what's your name?
Maureen.
Maureen. Thanks, Maureen.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, we
That's
hope you
it.
become a member.
Thank
Oh, you get
you.
20% off in the gift shop
Oh.
if you're a member.
That's nice.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool stuff in there.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, y'all. Awesome. Here's the application. Your actual application. That's cool. All right, let's see. Eye opening. All right, let's go over here. I love that they have the eco-friendly water fountains. So let's go. Let's walk around a little bit more. We saw the petticoats, the dresses with the petticoat underneath. Atlanta reduced to ashes. Did y'all know that? The current Atlanta, there's a city underneath. It was built on top of a city. My uncle told me that when I was thinking about moving down here. Atlanta was the hub for 3 major lines. Western and Atlantic, Georgia Railroad, and Atlanta and the West Point. In addition, the Macon and Western Railroads terminated in East Point, Georgia, just a few miles away. When General T. Sherman and 6,800 troops left the city November 16th on their march to the sea, only a smoldering shell remained of what had once been the Confederacy's chief transportation center in the Deep South. So they burnt down a lot of that stuff and tore up a lot of the railroads that the Confederates were using to help cripple their operations. 70% of its structures were destroyed. The railroads fared no better. In his memoirs, Sherman wrote, the chief engineer designed a machine for twisting the rails after heating them in fires made from burning cross tires. Wow, carrying them red hot and twisting them away from the trunks of the trees or wrapping them in such fantastic ways that they were useless. So this is how they tore up their railroads. Here's a picture of it. This is Atlanta. Burnt, reduced to ashes. But you wouldn't know that today by looking at Atlanta. Let's see. I'm probably going to come back. I'll come back another day so that I can actually take my time and go through everything. It's a good thing that they have this up here because in the lounge we will be doing we will be watching a documentary on Ida B. Wells this weekend. So it's quite a coincidence that she's up here featured on this poster. This is exactly who I had queued up for you guys for our next documentary for Black History Month. Ida B. Wells was born into slavery in Mississippi and became an outspoken civil rights activist over her lifetime. Her civil rights career began in 1882 after she purchased a first-class train ticket in Tennessee. Upon being asked to give up her seat and move to lesser accommodations in a segregated car, Wells refused and was removed by force. Following this incident, Wells sued the railroad and won the initial decision. However, the Supreme Court of Tennessee later overturned the ruling. They were like, nigga, get back in your place. These are original, this is a copy of an original ad for selling land. Following the Civil War, newly freed African Americans possessed little resources or property. In 1865, Congress created the Freedmen's Bureau in part to distribute land to formerly enslaved people. Despite the Bureau's intention, less than 1% of African Americans in the South received any land from the government. So, yeah. Any land we did get from the government, what we built on, anybody could just come and take it anyway, take it away. We'll burn it down. They did a lot of that. This is a cotton baker model. What is this? This patent model of a cotton baker illustrates what was then a new design for packing cotton into 400 and 500 pound bundles. Called bales. This standard measurement for cotton ensured fair compensation for all cotton manufacturers and allowed railroad companies to build standardized cars that could carry cotton that had been grown anywhere. Oh, so you pick the cotton and you put it in here, stretch it out, and put it in bales. Interesting. Here's a cotton gin model from about 1890. Serves as a miniature reproduction of a full-size cotton gin. Cotton gins work by mechanically removing seeds from the cotton lint needed to manufacture wool and other fabrics. Interesting. Let's see what this is over here. New industry on track. Steam-powered southern lumbering. Southern lumbering started in colonial times, but only after the Civil War did it become a significant part of the regional economy. Oh, they have a class in now. Yep, the demand for specialized machinery created opportunities for entrepreneurs. Let's see. What else they have? A mail pouch. There's an original mail pouch. 1940s, circa. This is how your mail was sorted. A mail sorter. See that? Those little cards. You were sending messages to people by mail, get sorted out like this to the regions and zip codes and all that stuff. Doo-doo-doo. Lots of interesting stuff. There's your stove and your hot water heater, buckets, a clock, your mail sorter. This was the administrative office. Typewriter was an 1866 invention, but the first practical model wasn't produced until 1874. And there it is, an ancient typewriter. You see that? Wow. Stamps and all that stuff on it. There's your phone. You see it? The one we used to. Let me see if I can zoom in. I have so much stuff in my hands. Let's see, there we go. Okay. And there's your phone right there. It's your original phone. Typewriter. Is that on the side of the typewriter? Zoom out. Filing cabinets were made of wood. Edward Nixon, young man, was hired as a Pullman sleeping car porter in Montgomery, Alabama. Although his job provided him with a chance to see many parts of the country, Nixon worked under discriminatory practices that prevented African American workers from receiving the same pay as their white counterparts. In 1955, Nixon helped organize the Montgomery bus boycott after Rosa Parks was arrested for refusing to surrender her seat to a white man. Key member of the civil rights movement, Nixon retired as a railroad porter in 1964 and continued to work for the improvement of housing and education for African Americans in Montgomery. I never learned about him in my history books. So, oh, what is that? There's what? Cast iron? Yeah. Let's see. High carbon steel, while extremely strong, is also brittle. A locomotive frame cast from high carbon steel would not last long, blah, blah, blah. Monitoring the composition and quality of the metal used to build locomotives was the important job of the factory at Glover Machine Works. So I guess this is what they were cooking up in the lab to make it stronger. Railway Express Agency cards. During World War I, the U.S. government took control of the nation's railroads and combined all railway parcel services into the American Railway Express. In 1929, the American Railway Express was reformed into the Railway Express Agency. There you go. For good order delivery. So this was our way of trading with other parts of the region, moving goods and things like that. Now, I mean, before, of course, they used ships and all that stuff to trade with different parts of the world. And then you had your horse and buggy, which obviously wasn't really effective for national trading and such. So, and then you had the Industrial Revolution, where they started creating railroads. And that was the major transportation source of transportation for trading goods, moving goods, etc. Wow. All right, let's go around. See what else they have. From pattern to product. Take a rubbing of your favorite pattern home with you. So this is how they made patterns. You put a piece of paper on it, and you run a crayon across it, and that's how you make a pattern. Interesting. I'm not doing that though. Too many hands on them crayons. Let's see. Since black man. Unidentified Civil War veteran, 1895. Civil War veteran, Richard P. Addison. Confederate veterans with their Union counterparts receive ribbons and medals commemorating their service. One such medal was the Southern Cross of Honor, created by the United Daughters of the Confederacy in 1900 and depicted here. Oh, this Civil War grave marker. Oh, this is the medal. This was a Civil War grave marker for all of the soldiers who died. So they didn't have unmarked graves. Dukes of Hazzards. Civil War. I didn't realize the Dukes of Hazzards was a racist show, or heavily Confederate endorsed, and probably all their producers and such were in favor of the Confederate. Where's my bottle? My bottle's falling. There we go. Okay. Post-Civil War perspectives. Reenactment camp. John B. Hood. I don't know why they had all these statues of these damn Confederate soldiers. They lost the war. More than that. As far as I'm concerned, they all should have been charged with treason. Let's see. The Glover Machine Works exhibit is dedicated to Dick Hillman. Dick's perseverance and quiet leadership were instrumental in establishing the historical and significance of what happened, as described as the single most important collection of its kind, etc., etc. All right. What's this? Push the button to hear the manufacturing process used in production of a Glover steam locomotive.
A new Glover steam locomotive begins with a blueprint drawn to the customer's exact specifications by Glover's engineering department. Blueprints are made of the entire locomotive from different angles. Additional blueprints are drawn for each of the hundreds of parts that go into building the locomotive. Next, wooden replicas, called patterns, are made for each part. The individual patterns will be packed into special sand and then carefully
That's enough of that. Yeah, I get the gist. The company was founded by a former employee of the Cincinnati Milling Machine Company. His former company manufactured precision machine tools with the exception of lathes. Cincinnati Lathe, hello. Cincinnati Lathe and Tool produced a quality, carefully crafted machines lathes. Production was limited, blah, 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 blah. So, a small lathe of this size was used to turn spindles, small axles, bolts, rollers, machine rims, and covered surfaces to produce turn finishes within requested tolerances for all customer demands. So this is how they made a lot of the different parts for the trains, for the locomotives with these machines. You see some of the tools. They got wrenches over there. Glover Machine Shop. Whose functions include the shaping of metal into machine parts, which were then assembled to create finished product. So again, all these things were created to, or they are designed to create parts for trains, machines, parts of the trains. I don't know if this is the original one. One of these, she said, was the stolen engine from one of the trains. Let me see if I can find that. Let me see. Oh, look at that. This looks like a deconstructed pulley, train pulley. So you can see all the inner workings. Interesting. There's your cash register right there. The machines not only had to have a high degree of technical knowledge about how the various pieces of machinery operated, but also needed to be familiar with algebra, geometry, calculus. He used a variety of tools, including dividers. Making a machine to be used to build a locomotive or other piece of machinery was an intensive undertaking. A pattern maker first made a wooden pattern for each part to be cast. The workers in the foundry used the wooden patterns to make a casting. At the foundry, the patterns were set in special sand, removed, and then hollow spaces filled with molten metal. Lots of work. Oh, look at this original. What is this? Like a drawer? A chest drawer? Oh, this is where they kept all their blueprints. There's a blueprint in there, y'all. It's like the original. This is a tool drawer. I have to go to the ladies' room. Hold on. Not sure where there's one. Electric motor. So trains used to be run with coal. So these are like your locomotives with that ran on coal, etc. Then they moved into electric trains with an electric motor. Wow. This 30 horsepower direct current constant speed electric motor operated at 975 RPMs at full speed. The Glover Machine Works purchased the motor from the Gillum Electric Company in Atlanta, Georgia. The company was an agent for the Westinghouse Electric, the manufacturing company. So that looks like an electric motor. You see that? That looks kind of new. Vulcan's material species of Vulcans. Glover Machine Shop. Glover Machine Shop had they had the game on lock. Okay, they did the first locomotives run on coal, and then as times change, then they also started manufacturing electric machines run on electric with an electric motor, which is very, very interesting because a lot of times people who have the game on lock, like Blockbuster, they used to have the game on lock for renting movies, etc. We talked about this. Netflix, before it was Netflix, a couple of guys that wanted to create a company called Netflix went to Blockbuster and said, "Hey, we know that you're the pioneers in the home, movie rental space, and we have this brilliant idea. We want to rent movies to people, but we want to make them digital and let them watch them from home instead of going into the stores and getting the discs, the DVDs to rent from you guys, Blockbuster." Blockbuster laughed and said, "Oh, that's ridiculous. Like, no, we don't want any parts of that. We got the game on lock. Y'all, I don't need you. Y'all need me. We got this." And now we're Blockbuster, obsolete and disbanded. They're nowhere to be found. And Netflix is king when it comes to movie rentals for home. You have to stay adaptive in business. You can't discount anyone or anything because they're smaller than you, because that could be the next big thing, and your ass could be out. That reminds me a lot about the conversation that Boss Lady and what's his name had, Darius. You on top right now, and you know what I'm saying. You doing great, but that shit could change. It certainly changed for Blockbuster. This is one restroom. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. This is clean. Thank God. And they have a little chair here for you to put your stuff on, which I appreciate. Hang on. Stuff in the trash. All right. All right. Hello. Let me turn this around. I'm back. I had to go to the ladies' room. Thought this was open. We walked out here. Let's see. The Glover Locomotive Industry Service. interests he served. Oh, you guys can't see it. What's your turn? There we go. So, all the money that this Glover family made from being the pioneers and providing the materials used to make and run trains, that's called generational wealth. I guarantee you their family is still eating off of the advancements that they made in this industry. That's what it's all about. Leaving a legacy for the people who matter to you in this lifetime. So when you're gone, they can do better than you had an opportunity. Better than most people have an opportunity or have access to opportunities. Campbell and Coke Company. Now that'll be a good trip to take y'all down to the Coca-Cola factory here in Georgia. Alabama, Virginia Iron Company. Alabama Iron. Anderson Steel Company. Although Glover locomotives were produced in many sizes and designs, they were all classified into general types by their basic wheel arrangements. The exact number of wheels and the arrangement, along with the frame of the locomotives, were determined by each locomotive's specific job designation. Hauling heavy loads or traveling routes with extreme grades would influence each locomotive's exact wheel pattern, size, and layout. So not all trains were created equal. Here are the wheel arrangements, how they looked. This is a 4, 2, and 4. So 4 up front, 2 in the middle, and 4 in the end. 4, 2, and 4. This one had a 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 6, 0, 4, 4, 0. So you see the 2 wheels? 4. So 2 in the front, 2 in the side. So that's 4, 4, and then 0. And this one was a 2, 6, 2. So 2 of those little wheels on the bottom, and then 6, 2 wheels. It's there are 3 showing, but then there are 3 obviously on the other side. So 2, 6, and 2. So depending on what they were hauling, if it was brick and tile, if it was goods, whatever it was, it determined the weight of the things that were being transported, determined the type of wheels that will be on it. So brick will be this one, Rome Brick Company in Rome, Georgia. So this is what the Rome Brick Company used to haul their bricks all around the country on a locomotive. So they went to the Glover Locomotive Services and they got a locomotive designed to haul their stuff. Cherokee Brick Company, Home Brick Company, so different brick companies. So this looks like a 262 design to me. I don't see the 2 wheels here because it's not hitched up yet, but I guess it'll be 2 on the front and then 6 and then 2. I don't know, I'm just guessing by looking at the configuration. But here's a 262 for sure. You see the 2 in the front and then you see 6 wheels. So 2, 6, and then not sure where the other 2 is 260. This is Anderson Lumber Company. Let's see what else is in here. What's this? Oh, this must be their movie. We're not going to do the movie though. Oh, we can't go in there anyway. All aboard. Mommy, African American History Month. I'll be back for that. sensory friendly afternoon. What's today's date? 15th? Don't have anything going on today. This looks like a camera bag. A bag and a camera. Photography. Damn, global Glover Locomotives had their hand in that too. Wilder Glover, president of the Glover Machine Works, knew the advertising power of photography when it came to selling his locomotive. Photographs of Glover's engines were used for postcards, catalogs, and other advertising materials from 1902 into the 1930s. Mr. Glover took photographs of every locomotive produced at his factory in Marietta. That's where I live. Using a 6.6.5 by 8.5 large frontal camera. He took pictures of the engine during the entire manufacturing process. The most important photo was taken of an engine when it was completed, detailed, and moved out of the assembly area for shipment. Wilder, as an added touch, often included in the set of photos his employees and other members of the Glover family. Interesting. So this is the camera that he used. So he definitely was very smart and obviously very in touch with what it would take to progress his business. He was the first one to do stuff like that. Like, I know what we could do to sell our engines and our not engines, but our locomotives. We could. These are a bunch of different locomotives that was made by Glover Locomotives. We could take pictures of them and put them on postcards, or we could take pictures of them and of our employees and put it in catalogs or in different things like that. So that was cool, and that's the camera that they would use to do things like that, to take pictures like that back in the day. This looks like the one that you have to get behind a covering to take the photo for. Interesting. Look at the tripod. Very interesting. They made a lot of locomotives. Only passenger locomotives, okay? Locomotive 131818 was built for Cliffside Railroad in Cliffside, North Carolina in 1923. An extremely attractive 262. We just talked about the wheels. So there they are, 2, 6, and 2. An extremely attractive 262 side tank locomotive. It was the only Glover engine built where the customer specified in its use as passenger service. Company records indicate that the sale price of the engine was $10,750. Back in that time, that was a lot of money back in 1923. The customer also specified that locomotive must meet all requirements of the Interstate Commerce Commission. Interesting. So you have to wonder, where would somebody get $10,750 back in 1923 to purchase their own train, their own locomotive? 2 Russian locomotives. That's interesting. Well, you have to remember, these were people who were wealthy through, the cotton industry, slavery, etc., for many, many years. So when the industry changed from cotton into the industrial revolution, we started going into industry and buildings, machines, locomotives, etc., getting away from horses and buggies and moving into trains. That money that was made all those years during the slave trade was reinvested into the next wave of the next movement, which would be the Industrial Revolution. They just took that money and flipped it into a new space. Because that's a lot of money to have during that time. So I just walked into Camp McDonald. Camp McDonald was a training center, was opened at Big Shanty on June 11th, 1861, named for former governor and Marietta resident Charles C. McDonald. The camp consisted of nearly 60 acres of land involved west of the Western and Atlantic Railroad. The camp was a temporary facility with no permanent buildings. Troops belonging to the 4th Georgia State Brigade began their training at Camp McDonald in late June 1861. That was for the Civil War. The camp was commanded by Georgia Militia Brigadier General and Confederate Army Colonel William Phillips. So this is from the training ground. For the Civil War. Route map of the Great Locomotive Chase. April 12, 1862. Raiders drop a boxcar. So I wish there was I wish this was a curated tour where someone could come and explain a lot of these things that they have posted up here to us. I mean, it's not like they're too super duper busy. I did ask and they said not today. So raiders stopped to cut wires and tracks in Texas. So it looks like basically the Union was following the different trains, supply trains, from Chattanooga, Tennessee, all the way down to Atlanta. This was the route where they followed them and got out and sabotaged the tracks so that they couldn't go any further, took their stuff, etc. I mean, it was war. Broken tracks, Rome engine halted, pursuers again. Then in Kingston, they were afoot. Engineer Kane dropped out. The engineer dropped out. Raiders delayed. This is a lot. It's basically, as they said, a route map of the Great Locomotive Chase. You wanted to win a war? You prevent someone from getting access to their supplies, medical supplies, food supplies, weaponry, and such that was carried by train. And here they are, taking apart the train, sabotaging it. See that? They were taking the tracks off so that they couldn't progress any further. And here are actual pictures. The front of Kennesaw Mountain. Here's somebody tearing up one of the railway lines. Lots more stuff. Oh, I like how they have like a little train tunnel in here. Y'all see the tracks on the ground? Ooh, let's go through. Georgia Mountain Tunnel. Let me feel it. Let me see. Georgia Mountain. Chattooga Mountain Tunnel, built by the state of Georgia, July 1848 through May 1850. Huh. Chattooga Tunnel. Go through. Ooh, this is a nice, big, pretty train. Oh my gosh. Let's see. I hear somebody coming. Oh, hello. You look like you're off and you're about to go home. Which train is this, though?
This is the General. This is the train that was stolen right out front in the Civil War in 1862.
Okay.
So this is the original. She's been here 50 years.
50 years in this building. Wow.
Yeah, and she was built in 1855.
1855. I mean, y'all must clean her regularly.
Yeah. You have one time a year where you can actually get in the cab.
Yeah.
So she stays pretty good.
So this was stolen from Confederates by Union troops.
Correct. And then
Okay.
the one that eventually caught up with it.
Yeah.
Her other train is at the History Center in Atlanta.
Also a Union commandeered train.
No, that one, the South, he chased his, did you get to watch the movie?
I didn't, but I just saw the great railway trace on the wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that, the train that was caught up, the South jumped onto several other trains trying to catch up with it
To get it back.
to get this one back.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yep. So
Well,
they ended up getting on another train that was going backwards.
And catching up with them. And then what happened?
The guys were, some fled, but they ended up arresting them all.
The Union soldiers,
Union soldiers.
arrested the Confederates who came to
No.
get the Confederates
around.
arrested the Union soldiers
Right.
who
Right.
were trying to get this
And then
train
they did
back.
some swaps and prisoner things and all that. But then these are the first medals of honor that were issued because of the chase. So, well, one's on conservation, but the other one is right there.
Okay.
So, yep.
So they steady awarding these Confederates.
They awarded the Union.
But I thought you said that the
So
Union stole it.
the Union stole it, but
And
they
then
got the medals because they were still part of the United States.
Right.
Where the South, the Confederates weren't.
But then the Confederates caught up to them and got it back, right?
Right. They got the train back, but still,
But they still got a medal for stealing it, even though it was taken back. Okay. Interesting. Thank you. Have a good rest of the day. Appreciate your help. Here's another one of the jackets. William J. Knight's Grand Army of the Republic uniform jacket. The Guard was a national organization formed after the war. Why don't talk about the Klan? I wonder if the KKK stuff is in here. Their hoods and stuff, because it was definitely formed after the war. I don't know if they have it in here, but it was. Formed by the war by Union veterans to ensure their sacrifice will not be forgotten and influenced by government policy. This jacket was worn by William J. Knight, one of the participants in the Great Locomotive Chase and Medal of Honor recipient. So this is a Union jacket by one of the Union soldiers who stole this train. It's massive. I don't know if you guys can tell by looking at it here, but it is massive. Huh. Interesting. Look at the wheels, y'all. Oh my God. To steal something like this and be doing donuts. Be doing donuts in a open dirt field. Which you couldn't do because it had to ride on train tracks. It runs on tracks. Wow. This is the original train, y'all, not a replica. I don't know if I can zoom out. It's as far out as I can go. But it's really big. It's really nice in the front, too. Let me see. Choo choo. Here's a picture of her. So this is the actual train. Here's a photograph. This would be a photo of the Union and the Confederates fighting over this train. Interesting. Plug cut from running board. Wood removed from the train tender. Oops, I can't rotate. This train is so nice. Oh my God. And guess you use this to step on to get up onto, help you up onto the train. Looks like a foothold to me.
The locomotive was taken apart entirely down to the last riveting bolts, carefully inspected, put back together again, given a new coat of paint, and shined to a diamond finish. In preparation for the tour, the Jetboat received two modern innovations: oil burning equipment and air brakes. Prior to the overhaul,
Oh, they put air brakes on it.
Depended on engineers' skill to stop the brakeless locomotive. After all, Civil War era locomotives did not have brakes. The engineers of the day had to judge the appropriate distance in order to turn off the steam and allow the heavy locomotive to a stop. When the overhaul was completed, the General was ready to ride the rails once more and would travel throughout the eastern U.S.
Wait, let me look at the comments.
National Civil War Centennial celebration. Unlike earlier tours in the century,
Why the fuck these bots keep coming into our room?
the old Iron Horse would periodically run the rails under its own power. All told, during the 3-year tour, the locomotive would travel well over 21,000 miles, half of which under its own power. The General visited hundreds of cities throughout the eastern U.S., with notable stops in Chicago.
Sorry, I had to
New York,
adjust my comments.
Atlanta, and New Orleans. Wherever the famous locomotive traveled, crowds gathered to witness this.
So they used to put it on tour, according to this video.
Exciting stop for the General was its return to the place where its fame began, Kennesaw, Georgia. Anticipation in Kennesaw, formerly known as Big Shanty during the Civil War, reached a fever pitch in the days leading to the General's return. As the locomotive and its diesel coach trains moved south to Atlanta, prepare for the commemorative run of the great locomotive chase, residents and reenactors greeted the caravan on rails. The day of the event, Kennesaw residents celebrated with colorful period attire and marching bands.
Sure not. I said, that looked like from Sears. Period attire. I don't think so.
Locomotive steamed into Kennesaw once again. This time, the locomotive was eagerly awaited by onlookers and spectators, both young and old. Instead of a breakfast stop spoiled by engine thieves, the event reunited the little engine and the community. Both owed their existence and fame to railroads and Civil War history. This reunion foreshadowed conflicts and events to come over the ownership of the locomotive. When the General returned to Kennesaw, it caused residents and fellow Georgians to wonder, would the General ever come home to stay? The locomotive continued touring until 1964.
Nice.
Civil War continued. It returned to Chattanooga for display, and everything appeared to return to normal. But storm clouds loomed on the horizon. In 1967, in a surprise move, the Louisville National Railway decided to award the state of Georgia permanent custody of the General. The events and controversy which ensued have been sometimes labeled as the second great locomotive chase. The Louisville National Railroad attempted to move the engine through Chattanooga to its new home in Georgia. Mayor Ralph Kelly called out the city police force and blocked the tracks. Court documents were filed, and a 3-year court battle ensued, which eventually reached the Supreme Court. In 1970, the final decision was made to allow the return of the General to Georgia for permanent exhibition.
Oh, wow.
2 years later, Kennesaw and the General were reunited on this spot, where the most famous American locomotive is now proudly displayed.
Right here. Interesting. That was pretty cool. There's the caboose.
Yeah, it's recorded.
I don't know if you guys can see up in there. They said they only let people in it once a year. Up in that part, the caboose. Where the engineer, the driver would be. This is so cool. What else is over here? All right, guys. Get ready to go to my Thai spot. Get me something to eat. I wish I had my other phone with me so I can call them and let them know. Because I don't want to wait for a long time. Here are some more muskets, binoculars, a revolver. It's a British patent. More picture frames. I have to order my lunch. All right. what is a shanty? A shanty is a small shack built of whatever materials are on hand and easily accessible. A shanty town is a collection of these types of buildings grouped in the same area. The shanty town served as a construction camp, providing railroad workers with food, shelter, and basic materials. The furnishings within the railroad shanties were likely sparse and heat provided by a fireplace or a pot-bellied stove. So there's a shanty, which is a shack, basically. All right. You go to the Thai spot with me. I've taken you guys there before. Let me see. Hold on. About to go. Give me something to eat. I'm hungry. Super hungry. Let me see what your comments are saying. You've been to the Coca-Cola factory? It's awesome. They have all kinds of Coca-Cola flavors. I haven't been probably in like 8 years. It's been a long time since I've been. But yeah, I do know Coca-Cola was established here in Georgia, right? Oh, this is the movie theater. Let me show you the movie theater.
Ready to slow him up. Who might be chasing us? Hurry, get rid off!
Some guys take care of it. Good.
Everybody back on board!
There's the train, the general. There it is.
Why didn't you just repair the track?
Oh, no, that would have taken too long. We had to find another way to stay close.
That's a beat bracket.
You know, I've known Pete a long time, and I can't remember ever being so happy to see his lovely face.
That's what the lady was saying. They were trying to catch up to the train that was stolen by the Union. So they put this train in reverse to catch up to it.
Makes the chase an even match once again. But Andrews thinks he has stopped them.
Alright, I ain't watching that whole thing. I'm about to go get something to eat. The Lacey Hotel. Oh, we didn't come this way. I don't think so. Oh. Kinda. The Lacey Hotel. Western Atlantic Railroad for the use of railroad passengers for meals and lodging. Did y'all know that during the Civil War, people in the South had to open their homes up to soldiers and provide them with a place to eat and a meal to eat and a place to sleep. If a soldier walked up to your house and knocked on the door, by law you were required to provide them with rations, something to eat, drink, and a place to lay their head to rest up. Did y'all know that? That was law. Came in. I think we came in this way. Wait, did we? Wait, let me get my bearings. So, no, we came this way. Post-Civil War perspectives. Who's this ugly person? James Harry. Monument. He was a Confederate soldier and Civil War correspondent for the Memphis Daily Appeal. After losing his leg at the Battle of Atlanta in 1864, he was a newspaper editor for 20 years before serving 2 terms in the Tennessee State Senate. This bust sculpture was on display in the Confederate Park in Memphis from 1908 to 2017. I don't know why they keep giving these damn Confederates props. They were traitors, treasonous, losers, murderers, the founders of the KKK. Oh, yes. That's who started KKK, retired Confederate soldiers. That's just super facts. You can look it up. What are these? These are train cars and how they decorated the inside of them. That's really nice. Dining car. Nice. They had seats on the top of the train. Martin Robinson Delaney was a civil rights advocate, official with the Freedmen's Bureau, and one of the first African American doctors. Prior to the Civil War, Delaney became involved in the burgeoning abolition movement and published a weekly newspaper, The Mystery. I'm gonna go look that up when I get home. The Mystery, which spoke out against the institution of slavery following the war. Delaney was hired as an official with the Freedmen's Bureau, a government organization that worked with recently freed people. This governmental organization negotiated race relations, helped find employment, redistributed land, and provided educational resources. Born in Charlestown, Virginia, current-day West Virginia, Delaney began a medical apprenticeship at the age of 19 and opened his own successful medical practice in Pittsburgh in 1832. Now that's something right there. One of the first African Americans to attend Harvard Medical School, Delaney served as a surgeon during the Civil War and was the first African American to receive a regular Army commission. Following the war, Delaney became active in South Carolina politics and established a brokerage business that worked to assist African American cotton farmers. This is what they need to be teaching in schools. We done seen enough of this. Cotton picking and etc. This is an actual picture of men and women picking cotton at a farm near Thomasville, Georgia in 1895. That's 30 years after the Civil War. Despite efforts to diversify and industrialize the economy, the South's largest need for cash boosted the dominance of high-profit cotton higher than it had ever been before the war. Here's a gentleman. At a farm in coastal Georgia, a field hand carries a sack of rice over his shoulder. The agricultural economy of the post-war South relied extensively upon a large pool of low-wage, unskilled labor. Boy, we had it rough then. Let me go around here. It's interesting. I'll have to come back one day when I don't have a camera in my hand so I can take my time. Guarding the rails. Y'all see that? They had someone actually guard the rails so people didn't sabotage them. Yeah, see that? Guarding the rails over there in the corner. Cotton and iron. It's cute. Little engineer jumper.
Would be seen on the city's website, though we do give opportunities for volunteers.
Let's see.
Y'all want to go to our volunteer program here? Hold on 1 second.
Give me water. Let me need this water. Hold on, y'all. I'm super thirsty. Hi, Joshua.
So, did you take one of our gallery guys, the gallery guide with you?
No. That one?
Yeah, African American History Month gallery guide.
Oh, wow. Okay, let me see.
There.
Thanks.
So yeah, that actually amazing that ties in with the various.
Okay. This is awesome. Y'all do this every year?
Yes. Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, February 25th. Don't forget to come.
Oh, I'm not going to forget. I already put it on my calendar.
Excellent. Yeah, and tell anybody you know.
Tell everybody.
Yes.
Tell a friend. Tell a phone. It'll get there. That's what my aunt said. When she calls somebody nosy in the family and a gossip, she says, telegraph, like a telegraph. Telegraph, telephone, tell a Tina. It'll get there. Meaning if Tina's one of my cousins, she's just like a telegraph and a telephone. The message will get out if you tell any one of those.
March 25th will be our Women's History Month event.
Women's History Month event? Okay.
Other interactive activities, special tour. Yeah.
Okay. I definitely will be back. And it's from 9?
9:30 to 5. Yeah.
Okay. Like with like reoccurring events or?
The same events all day.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
That makes sense. All right, I'll be back. Thank you. Thanks for your time. Is there an easier way to get to like the parking lot in the back from here or no?
Head out there and take a left.
Okay. Thanks. All right, y'all. So we are going, so it's super fun. But this little train right here was cute when I first walked in, but the other ones, the General is what it's called. The other one was really nice. Still drizzling, but just a little bit. Let me see what the comments are saying. Hey, Coach. Hi, Sherry Reeves. Sherry Reeves. I don't know who the hell that person is, but I don't know why my comments don't stay up on the screen. I literally have to push to get them. It's a little annoying. This is stupid. Hi, Tony. Hi, Tony. Happy Wednesday from California. See, they keep their landscapers all year. They already pruned their trees and everything. You know, these landscape companies, they be trying to stay on your payroll all year round. And there is work for them to do, definitely, from leaf cleanup, you know, after the summer season's over, to pruning all your bushes in like early January. Stuff to do, but not enough to keep them on like as if they were trimming, edging, mowing, and blowing like regular maintenance service. Let's see. So we have a couple of benches out here dedicated to probably some Confederate somewhere. Donated by Anson Ramsey Insurance. Okay. Closed New Year's Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day. Okay. Okay. I don't remember going up those steps. Oh, maybe I did. Yeah, because I tried to go in those double doors. That didn't work. Okay. I have to go pick up my food. Put y'all on hold so I can order it. Might stay inside and eat it. Not sure until I get there. We shall see. Oh, sorry. Let's see. Hold on. Oh, shit. Hold on, y'all. Stupid thing. Oops. Hold on. Let me pick up my food. I see a car coming. It's right down the streets. That's the real reason I came in here. It's not, but it's definitely an added bonus. Is that my it's the right way? I don't know. I feel like yeah. Is that my Thai spots over here? Let's see. Yeah, it's the right way. Yeah. That was fun. I'll have to come back, as I said, when I'm not preoccupied with my phone. I can actually look around and see and experience all that they have in there, from movie to probably a curated tour. I love history and I love museums. It's a part of living in New York. We have so many amazing museums. Oh, I was gonna try to take it, but I'm not. Better safe than sorry. Better safe than sorry. Ew. Here's a there's a barbecue spot over here that's actually not bad. It's built like a train. It's kind of like on railroad tracks. It's really good. Got a big train outside of it. Get me something good to eat. I ordered me some. They just put these houses up because I've not seen these. Even the last time I came out here for food, I didn't see these up. They just be throwing houses up now, y'all. Just throwing up houses. Made of wood. It's just terrible. They're called matchbox houses. Like a matchbox. You're up here now. Okay. The Thai spots, like if you're not careful, you're gonna drive right past it. It's very unassuming. Betty. I'm sleepy and hungry. That's a bad combination. Let's see what y'all talking about. Go back. Because this guy behind me is not for play. Here we go. HGTV is here. What they doing here? There's a lot of people in here. Last time I brought y'all here with me, it was nobody here. This lot was empty. This lot, listen, this place does so much business. Should I park there? I'll park here. I'll park right here. These are little ass parking spaces. I do know that. Let me back out. I'll park there. Park over here. Some baby, little teeny baby parking spaces. Costco spoiled me. Costco parking spots are, what they say, a size and a half. So a regular parking space and a half. And you could definitely tell. I love how they got their crepe myrtles trimmed. This tree right here. Looks like it is a crepe myrtle. Look at this. These parking spaces are tiny as hell. This restaurant, some of the smallest family-owned restaurants I've had authentic Thai food. And this right here is authentic Thai food. Make sure I got my phone. Go inside. This is the part of the problem right here. They're on the people park right on the line, which is very annoying. You guys see this? Very fucking annoying. Let's go inside. See what they got. It's not good. It's bad. There we go. It's not supposed to happen. Okay. Let's see. This is authentic Thai food. Straight up Thai. No lie. Hi. Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. 1 second.
Alright. Just thinking about eating inside. I probably will, y'all.
Yeah, that's more brown sauce. Noodles.
Hi. I ordered the masala chicken, curry chicken.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm going to have it for here.
Yeah, I already got it now.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Hi. Hold on, y'all.
Want a drink?
Yes, Sprite would be awesome, if you don't mind. Hold on, y'all.
Done a job like this.
Perfect. Thank you.
But I also wanted her to feel like nothing.
Oh, this lady mad loud.
Because we were off the position. That we are thinking that way with you, and how do we support that?
Show you how some authentic Thai food looks. This is masala chicken. It has avocado, red peppers, Cashews, of course. Wouldn't be Thai if it didn't have cashews. Rice, curry. That's a cashew right there. Chicken, so good, y'all. Hold on. Get my thing straight.
There's a special, you know,
Thai food. Why my food not all piled up like that? Thank you. Appreciate it. I really want to wash hands. Many times I've been here, I've never been to the bathroom now. Hey, where's your ladies' room? On that side. Okay, thanks. Put a napkin on my food. Oh, turkeys. Alright. I'm gonna leave my phone here. Y'all let me know if somebody try to turkey.
Great. Yes. They failed theirs? Yeah, it was really bad. They failed. It's like 40. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that. I guess I wouldn't know about that. But they were like using their hands, they weren't in the proper water.
You never in the diner at your own risk.
You really have to stretch for the one that's still in it. Yeah. Not that they're perfect, but man, are they making the job. And I said, we're gonna lose these two people, I don't know what y'all are gonna do.
Scoop them back
You run circles around them. And for him, he's like, you know what? I'd rather own my own little business. I'd rather, you know what I mean? He had some really great things. I'm really proud of him. I would love to see that work I know, I was like,
Yeah, any places that,
she is just, if I believe that she would help them.
Cherokee cattle right there.
I think I'm gonna be very surprised.
Did you miss me?
I logged into that.
Anybody Anybody got on my camera? Anybody? Yes, I'm good, thank you. Anybody touched it? Solid food, right? I don't know why the comments are doing what they're doing on here, but I'm going to take this live and go live on Facebook. So it's only like a few people on here. You guys head over to Facebook, and I will see you there. I think it's still.
To make more money. The problem is she's not going to make more money.